Good afternoon, beautiful people. It is Monday, June 22nd, day one of Learn How to Think, and it is the start of our final week. It's start of week 13. Wow. I took the last 3 days off to enjoy the weekend and really start fresh with this week, because this is the week lesson that takes everything we have done over the past 12 weeks. That's 84 days of material and learnings and messages. They're all come to this moment. And I can't help again but reflect on this material being so apt for my life 5 years ago, but it's so specific for today as well. Learn to think. George Bernard Shaw once said, 2% of people think, 3% think they think, and 95% would rather die than think. And ladies and gentlemen, I have a lot of faith in humanity, but we're living in a world where that quote is so true. I think about all the noise that is around us, and that's all it is it's noise and clouds and fog. And it's so easy to get caught in the noise. And I know that the concept of critical thinking may sound like an obnoxious buzzword from a liberal arts school, but it is such a useful skill that I do not believe, any more than 2% of the population actually think critically. Because in order for that quote to be true, 98% of the population isn't thinking. And critical thinking does not mean absorbing information and using that information to make a decision. That's kind of in the same lines as just spouting out what other people are saying. Critical thinking doesn't come naturally to humans because of our prehistoric amygdala brain, our flight or fight response. But critical thinking is something that you can train yourself to be better at. One of the most important factors of critical thinking is learning which details matter. But in order to do that, you have to bring in everything. And that means every side to the argument. So in this particular instance with COVID, I could talk about the face mask debate. If you are making an opinion about face masks based on what one person says, that's not critical thinking. Critical thinking is actually sitting down and looking at the research that says yay and nay, and trying to form an opinion based on all of those aspects. That's the true scientific discovery. And I know that was something we probably learned in grade 4 or 5, but a lot of the things that we learned in, especially even kindergarten, is so applicable today. Arguments are misleading for a lot of reasons. And events and news stories are a great place to train yourself to pay attention to the details. And I know there's that cliche, the devil's in the details, but it's true. If the devil's in the details, so is the divine, so is the light. Because of the law of polarity, everything is in the details. Everything is everything, everything is energy, the details. And I know we're being bombarded with the fire hose of information in today's day and age. And sometimes it's really easy just to, that Chicken Little syndrome, to believe what you see first. But it's so important to get down into the gutters. Because thinking critically, staying curious, and asking questions are essential to growing as a human. Critical thinking is about confronting all the biases as often as possible. And I know it's tough, but if you take the time to think about opposing views throughout the day, you'll train your brain to be able to do it much quicker. I don't believe anything anymore, but I do take the time to dive into all sides of an argument. Ignorance is the lack of knowledge. And 95% of the individuals who would rather die than think would rather stay in ignorance. And ignorance is the seed of doubt turning into fear. The only way to combat fear is through knowledge. I love you all. Until tomorrow, be kind to yourself and to others.